Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello my dear students and welcome to this English new lesson for grade 8. I wish you time full of joy and benefit. Our lesson today is going to be about using some, any, many and much. Again, the title of our lesson today will be about using some, any, many and much. Let's get started. Before we start with the lesson, let's have a look at the lesson's aims. 1. To differentiate between countable and uncountable nouns. 2. To be familiar with the use of quantifiers some, any, many and much. 3. To differentiate between the use of some and any. 4. To differentiate between the use of many and much. These are the lesson's aims. Let's get started. How much and how many? In this part, we are going to learn how to use how much and how many. Now, before starting talking about some, any, many, and much, let's have a look at countable and uncountable nouns. Again, students, let's have a look at countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns. What about countable nouns? They can have both a singular and a plural form. They also can be counted. We can count the countable nouns. Again, the countable nouns can have both a singular and a plural form. They also can be counted. Let's continue. Examples for countable nouns. Here, this category includes food, apples. Look, apples is a countable noun. Carrots, eggs, fries, burgers, hot dogs, candies, cookies, sandwiches. These are countable nouns. They are also plural. Notice, they are also plural. They can be counted. Let's continue. What about uncountable nouns? They only have a singular form. They don't have a plural form. Notice, and they also cannot be counted. Notice the uncountable nouns have only a singular form, and they also cannot be counted. Let's continue. Here we have examples. Let's read the first one. We have some apples in the fridge. Notice, dear students, we have some, and some is followed by the word apples. Notice apples is countable noun, right? And it's preceded by some. Some apples. Number 2, there is some rice in the plate. Notice some is followed by uncountable noun. Notice some can be followed by countable and uncountable nouns. Some rice. Rice is again uncountable noun. 3, we don't have any cherries. Notice any, and we have the word cherries, which is plural and countable. So here any can be followed by a countable noun. 3, do we have any tomato paste? Again, do we have any tomato paste? Notice the word tomato paste is uncountable noun, and it's preceded by any. So some and any can be followed by countable and uncountable nouns. Let's continue. What about the use of some? The use of some. Some is used with uncountable and plural countable nouns in affirmative, not negative, sentences and offers. Again, some can be used with countable and uncountable and also plural nouns. It's also used with affirmative sentences and offers. Let's have a look at an affirmative example. There are some carrots in the fridge. Notice, some carrots. Carrots is a plural and countable noun. It's preceded by some. As I have just said, that some can be followed by countable and plural noun. What about the offer? Would you like some tea? Again, would you like some tea? Notice the word T is uncountable noun. It's preceded by some. So, in offers, we use some. We also use some in affirmative sentences, not negative sentences. Let's continue. What about the use of any? Any is used with uncountable and plural countable nouns in questions and negative sentences. Notice, any is used in negative statements and also in questions. Let's have an example. Is there any juice in the fridge? Again, is there any juice in the fridge? Notice the word juice is uncountable noun, and the sentence here is a question. That's why we use any. We use any, followed by the word juice, which is a countable, uncountable noun. Let's practice some and any. Number one, students, we have examples. We are going to use either some or any. Number one, I have a rubber and space pencils. The word pencil is countable noun. So what do we use, students? Do we use any or some? Very good, we use some. So in the first example, I have a rubber and some pencils. The sentence is also affirmative. What about number two? Are there yogurt in the fridge? Again, are there space yogurt in the fridge? The word yogurt is uncountable noun. And notice the sentence ends with a question mark. So in questions, do we use any or some? Very good, we use any. So we say, are there any yogurt in the fridge? 3. I have to buy space dresses for the party. Again, I have to buy dresses for the party. Do we use here any or some? Very good, we use some. Why? Because we have an affirmative sentence. We also have dresses, which is also a countable noun. What about number 4? Could you bring me coffee, please? Again, could you bring me coffee, please? So the correct answer is some coffee. Why? Because it's an offer, right? What about 5? I do not have money. Again, I do not have money. Is this sentence affirmative or negative? Very good, it's negative. So in negative statements, as I have just said, we use some or any. We use any, excellent. So I do not have any money. Let's continue. What about how much and how many? When do we use how much and how many? Let's see. We have examples with pictures. Look at the picture, dear students, and the speaker says, I have many papers. This needs much work. Notice we have the word many, which is followed by papers. Do you think the word papers is countable or uncountable noun? Very good, it's countable noun. So many should be followed by countable nouns. What about much? Notice much is followed by work. Is the word work countable or uncountable? Thank you, it's uncountable noun. So we don't say many work, we say much work. What about number 2? Look at the picture. We ask, how many cats do you have? Again, how many cats do you have? How many is followed by the word cats. Cats is a countable noun. So we don't say how much, how many cats. So how many should be followed by a countable noun. How many cats do you have? Picture 3. The answer to this question is, I have many. Many refers to cats. We don't say I have much because the word cats, as I have just said, is a countable noun. I have many, so there is much noise. What about the word noise? Is it countable or uncountable? It's uncountable. So it should be preceded by much, not many. Right? Let's continue. What about the use of how many? As you have just seen, dear students, that how many is used with plural, countable nouns to ask about the number of something. Again, how many is used with plural, countable nouns to ask about the number of something. Let's see this example. How many students are in your classroom? Notice how many is followed by a countable noun, which is students. We don't say how much students. Why? Because the word students is a countable noun. That's why we say how many students are in your classroom. Let's continue. What about the use of how much? You have seen, dear students, that how much is used with uncountable, notice, nouns to ask about the quantity of something. Again, how much is used with uncountable nouns to ask about the quantity of something. Let's see this example. How much water is in this bottle? Again, how much water is in this bottle? Notice how much is followed by water, which is uncountable noun. We don't say how many water, how much water. Why? Because how much should be followed by uncountable nouns. Okay, dear students, it's time to practice. Let's see the first example. No, there isn't water in the bottle. Here, water is countable or uncountable? Very good, it's uncountable. So, we use many or much. Very good, we use much. So we say, no, there isn't much water in the bottle. Number 2, there isn't space salt in the soup. What's the correct answer? Do we use many or much? Very good, we use much because the word salt is uncountable noun. What about number 3? It's also quite amazing how milk these cows produce every day. Notice the word milk. Is it a countable noun or uncountable noun? Very good, it's uncountable noun. So do we use many or much? We use much. That's right. What about number 4? There are so poor people in the world. Again, there are so poor people in the world. Poor people is countable or uncountable noun? Countable noun. So we use many or much? Many. Very good. So many poor people. Number 5, hurry up, I don't have so time. The word time is countable or uncountable? Very good, it's uncountable. So we use many or much? We use much. So the correct answer is much time. Number 6, we went to a dairy yesterday. I have never seen so cows before. Here the word cows is countable or uncountable noun? Very good, it's a countable noun. So we use many cows before. And now, dear students, this is the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed your time and learned. Thank you for watching. لإعادة مشاهدة هذا الدرس يمكنكم الضغط على الرابط أو الكود الموجود أسفل الشاشة. شكرا لحسن استماعكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.